Now let's turn to a top opponent of the Arizona law, Thomas Saenz, president of the Mexican-American Legal Defense and Education Fund. He is in Los Angeles this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How should state and local governments stop the flow of illegal immigrants into the United States?
State and local governments under our Constitution can use their representatives in Congress and in the United States Senate to advocate for a change in federal immigration policy and federal enforcement. It's a well-established, long-standing constitutional principle that the federal government has the exclusive authority to regulate immigration. So state and local government have no role to play in that regard except through their representatives in Washington.
And do you feel like the federal government is doing enough to stem the flow of illegal immigrants, or should it?
Well, I think the fact that there are millions of people in this country who have toiled here for years and in some cases decades, contributing to our economy, contributing to our culture, contributing to our community, in many cases raising United States citizen children here, is an indicator of the fact that we need comprehensive immigration reform. That issue has been on our national agenda for over a decade, and it's more than time for our representatives in Washington to move on enacting concrete steps toward arriving at an immigration system that is fairer and better serves our national interests.
Well, it sure doesn't seem as if that is bound to happen anytime soon. Do you view laws like the Arizona law that was by and large struck down this week, do you view laws like this as anti-Hispanic?
I think that whenever you enact something that requires police officers, as SB 1070 would have done, to engage in stereotyping, to engage in racial profiling, acting on what they understand to be the undocumented profile, that's going to result in discrimination against Latinos and others who may appear to be foreign, who may appear to be immigrants. They're going to be swept up in that kind of a dragnet. So in that very practical sense, it is an anti-Latino law. Its effect, had it not been held up in a great victory for the Constitution this week, its effect would have been to discriminate against Latino residents of Arizona.
We were talking earlier with Senator Kyl about this movement afoot to make it impossible for the children of illegal immigrants to become citizens automatically, as was talked about in this interpretation of the 14th Amendment. What do you think of this movement?
I think it's deplorable. I think it's an attempt to turn our back on 150 years of constitutional history and tradition. I think it's contrary to the values of this country. I think it's an assault on the recognition that ours is a country of immigrants and always has been. The 14th Amendment is very clear. Anyone who's born here, unless you are the child of a diplomat, is a United States citizen. And that has led to great success. It's part of what has made this nation the great nation that it is in 2010. And I think determining to change that would be a grave mistake.
The lure of economic opportunity in America is almost irresistible. It has been the magnet that has drawn generations of immigrants since the country was, even before the country was founded. If laws were enforced that prohibited employers from hiring illegal immigrants, do you think that would be sufficient to stem the flow?
Well, the fact is that there are a number of industries in this country, beginning with agriculture, that absolutely depend upon an immigrant workforce. And our current immigration system doesn't provide enough of a workforce to maintain that critical industry. That's why we need to enact immigration reforms, starting with concrete steps that would address our national interest in ensuring that we have a workforce, that we continue to attract those immigrants who are ready to make a powerful economic contribution, and also arrive at a system that better reflects our constitutional values: fairness, due process, non-discrimination. We need our Congress and the administration to act on immigration reform.
Thomas Saenz, we thank you very much for your time this morning. Do appreciate it.
Thank you.